Hello and welcome back to another episode of the TF Cast. Today's date is August 12th, and my name is willisstout. Coming at you live or recorded from the solarium today.
And I'm your host, Jacob Bases. Today with us, we have not one, but two artists opening up at the 410, Edson Rosas and Sam Braun. Welcome to the show. These are Wonkis or wonky artists, or no, that's not right.
Wonkism.
Artists exploring Wonkism. And tell us a little bit about the show, when people can show up, what Wonkism is, and your work.
Yeah. So the show is going to be opening on August 26th from 7 to 9 p.m. It'll be on view between August 26th to September 10th. Everyone's invited. There will most likely be snacks, which is my favorite part. There will be some components where the audience or the community can also interact and become Wonkis themselves. But yeah, Sam, you want to talk a little about the show?
It's going to be at the 410, 7 to 9 o'clock on August 26th. I think you just said that.
That's good. That's good information, though.
Yeah, it's great information.
This is the meat and potatoes. What is a Wonkist?
What is a Wonkist? Well, originally the term started from a friend of ours, Isaac Pfeffer, who was looking at our work and said, "You know what? You guys are Wonkis. You guys are wonky artists. This is like Wonkism." That's how he described our work. And as soon as I heard that, I just wanted to roll with it. Just, ooh, hello. I just wanted to just, crap, I lost where I was going with that.
You wanted to roll with the Wonkism.
Yeah. So Isaac Pfeffer came up with the term for it. And I just thought, hey, maybe my art is kind of like on like a current or just that Wonkis current. And Ed here, who's been a longtime friend of mine, I realized that we both kind of have very similar works, and I just wanted to capture this sort of a current, like I called it, and try to formulate it into both our works into Wonkism, or our styles into Wonkism. Yeah.
So the show is a culmination of that effort to combine the work.
Yeah.
How long have you been creating together or in tandem?
I think I started MSU spring 2016, and we both joined Print Club.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other then.
I remember
Print Club or Prank Club?
Print
making. So a print making club.
Like Prank Club.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of tight.
And I remember I made a picture of Abraham Lincoln holding a fish saying, "I love you." And I gave him little stubby feet. And you said, "Hey, can you sign this for me?" So I signed it for you. And that led to another thing, and here we are.
Cool. So back to, I'm not sure I got a good answer as to like what Wonkism is. So can it be seen? Is it a style that someone would be like, oh, that's wonky?
Yeah.
What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like?
While Sam grabs something.
All right.
Wonkism or Wonkis is basically just like, I would say, close to Dadaism, if you know what Dadaism is, but more contemporary. I guess we're going kind of fighting the grain of like capital A art or what mainstream art looks like. We kind of feel like we're outsider artists, not in terms of like what real outsider artist is, but in terms of like we're on the outside, I guess.
And this is what Wonkism is. Okay. I actually did this last night. I couldn't sleep, so I just went upstairs into my little studio space, and I just started drawing, just doing whatever. Just kind of like it's off a little bit, but it's funky. Yeah.
Yeah. So drawing from my art history is real weak. A little bit of like Picasso kind of style, a little cubism, almost Dadaism.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Is that a point? That's different than pointillism.
Yeah, that's
right?
different than pointillism.
Yeah. Okay. What's Dadaism like?
Dadaism started up during the First World War in Switzerland, which was a neutral country, and a lot of people there would just see the carnage of war and say, "Oh, nothing makes sense. Art doesn't make sense. The world doesn't make sense. People are dying for no apparent reason. So." Why don't we make work that doesn't make any sense?
Like that exploration of absurdity, kind of.
Yeah, that's the word we're looking for.
A big, I guess, the Wonkist Mona Lisa or just like the big piece that most people think of when they think of Dadaism, or I call it the Wonkist Mona Lisa. The Dadaist Mona Lisa, or just the big Dadaist piece, is Marcel Duchamp's Fountain, which was a urinal that I just wrote R Mutt 1917 on it.
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
It's a divisive piece of art, you know. As I think I don't know, a lot of people have feelings about found art, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, and like whatever you put into a space that evokes that kind of feeling, you know. We're here talking about it, so I think it's a win.
I saw one of the fountains in person. It was there was an exhibit of Duchamp's work at the Dali Museum in Florida, and I was just in front of the fountain. I was looking at it like, whoa, and then it finally dawned on me, like probably some guy peed in it, and I'm just like so fascinated with this work. It's just like some guy just used it just because he.
Yeah, I mean, in a former life, you know.
Yeah, in his former life.
You know, who knows? Maybe they open it up to like rich people. You know, they can come in there at night and
take a
still use
piss.
it.
All right. So what's this? What's the 410 show like? Like, what's exciting about it? What are you excited to show people for this collaborative work and the showing?
I'm mostly excited about just showing work with Sam because we've never kind of had a show together, just the two of us. So I feel like it just gives us an opportunity just to show our work in tandem with each other, having a conversation with each other. Kind of just I want to create. Sam wants to create a space kind of where those coming into the art scene feel welcomed. There's no pressure for them to like, oh, I have to create 24/7. This is something I have to do. We also want to create a space for already artists that are within the scene where they can feel like, oh, I can like take a breath in here. I don't have to be serious. I don't have to wear like a specific mask. Whoa, I sound juicy, but wear a specific mask where I have to like show myself as a specific artist to the community or something like that.
Yeah.
And what's the community involvement? Like you've told me that people will be able to participate.
Yeah. So we're going to invite people to kind of become Wonkist themselves. There will be a corner at the 410 space where we'll have paper and markers set out for people to kind of draw their own art. We'll have blue tape there so they can blue tape it up to the wall and become part of the exhibition as well.
That's neat.
Is that part of an ethos that's personal, or is it like just how you want to bring people in?
I just kind of just want to interact with people a little bit, I guess. Ed, can you help me out here?
Yeah. I guess community building is something I enjoy a lot. And just inviting people into spaces, things like that. Blue tape specifically, just because me kind of going through undergrad and my master's experience as an artist, whenever I showed blue tape work or hung my work up with blue tape, people were like, you can't do that. That won't be accepted in white space gallery walls. So I would just enjoy inviting people to use blue tape within work to say this is art, it's still serious. You can use blue tape within a gallery. I will accept that as serious work. But yeah.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about how the journey here. Like, I mean, obviously, like you've talked a little bit about at MSU and then an experience there with blue tape. But what led you down the path of getting into being an artist?
I can start.
Yeah, you start.
Yeah, you've been carrying on the conversation for a little bit. I guess originally, kind of like going back to being a kid. My big inspiration as a kid was comic books, like Jack Kirby and all the comic book great artists like Steve Ditko and all that. Just inspired me to kind of like work or just draw really as a kid. And then as I got older in high school, I was more exposed to the likes of Basquiat, as well as many other contemporary, well, he's dead, but many other contemporary artists that are around today, and just art as a whole. And high school was when I really started exploring with painting outside of drawing, and just working with acrylics and all that. And slowly, in high school, I realized that art was this thing that I really wanted to do with my life. And sorry, I'm like jumping here and there. I'm a little bit nervous.
No, what was that early? What was the early work like? You know?
I tried to make my own little comic books as a kid. So I would just take sheets of paper, staple them together. Sometimes I'd be absolutely unoriginal, and I'd say make Super Sam, and it's just me in a Superman outfit or some stupid stuff like that. Or I'd actually try to recreate some of the comic books I had
Mm.
as a kid. And I think that was my really big start getting into art as it's like in itself. And a big thing that I guess also has been pushing me forward has always been my family, where I come from. Well, my family's rather conservative, and I guess I'm very thankful that they're so supportive of me being an artist or just being into the arts, because you don't usually, whenever you hear like an artist with like conservative, like in a conservative family, you always hear them like, "Oh, you should do something else with your life to make money." But yeah, it's always been something that I've always been happy about. I guess the big reason why that they kind of support it is I always heard this story as a kid, but when I was in kindergarten, uh, apparently my room was haunted, and they had to. I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm taking a whole 180, but when I was a kid, apparently my room was haunted, and my grandma was visiting a psychic at the time, and the psychic told my mom like, "Hey, uh, uh, there's these ghosts that are in his room. Tell them to go away. They're dead." So that's what I did as a kid. And the psychic lady, I don't remember meeting with her, but she said I was a good soul and that I'd do something with books. So then, whenever I'd like read comic books or do anything like that, my mom would be heavily supportive of it. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Did the ghosts leave?
They did leave after that. So they would haunt my room like in the middle of the night, and I would be like just a kid in kindergarten. I'd stay up till like 3 or 4 a.m. just like I couldn't sleep whatsoever. And then finally, as soon as I told the ghosts that they were dead and to move on, uh, they just stopped after that. Just like that.
The one-time incidents, you said your dad move on, and they just
Yeah,
were like,
they just left me alone. They were like, "Oh, well, you make a point later."
Dang.
Yeah, they were old. It was an old couple. I That's what I told my mom. It was like like a husband and wife that just died and just were just kind of there like, "Hey, you're in our room." So,
huh.
yeah.
And then you're like, nah, you're in my room.
I
No,
like
you're in my room. You're dead.
I like chill hauntings, I think people
Yeah.
sometimes try and make things a little bit more serious than they are, and it seems like it was a chill haunting. Like despite the 3 a.m. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
all that.
Just like bothering me like, "Hey, wake up." I don't remember it at all whatsoever. I was just too little for it, but that's the story that I've always really heard because
Hmm.
yeah. I did have a recent moment with like ghosts, I guess. I was working, I used to work at a nursing home. I still technically do. I'm on call. But there's this one room where apparently for a while, this one patient died in there. And then you would just like hear these whispers outside of the room. But when you went into the room, you would hear nothing.
Hmm.
And then I remember I walked past that room. It was the whole whisper thing happened way before I came there, but I walked past the room and somebody had a doll in there, and it was like facing towards the TV, just like looking at the TV, and it was like, ooh, and I just was creeped out by it, and I just said no. But yeah, that's my ghost story.
Wow.
Do you have any ghost stories or pertinent art history, Edson?
In terms of my art journey, so I kind of was always involved within art classes in high school. I grew up in a small town of 80 in Iowa. For some like back context,
Which one is that? We got Iowa listeners, so you might.
um,
Hi,
in
Iowa.
Nemaha, Iowa. No one's gonna know that. It's near Storm
Nemaha.
Lake. People know Storm Lake more.
Sure.
Or Okoboji, which is like an hour 30 north of Nemaha. But yeah, so I grew up in a small town of Iowa. I was always involved in art classes. I always used to draw these figures, which are similar to these right here. And then my high school art teacher introduced me to the artist Keith Haring. That's when I kind of realized like you can be queer and an artist outside of like high school or small towns. And then I graduated and then I went to pre-law. So after doing pre-law for a little bit, I was like, suits, they don't really fit me that well. This isn't my vibe. So I switched from pre-law to wanting to teach a language in high school. And I felt like Spanish was too cliche. So I started taking French classes. And then I was like, this is way too hard. I don't know what I'm doing. So then I went to art education. Then I took a semester off. I did some like crying in the grass, some soul searching. It was pretty good. I enjoy crying a lot. Maybe I'll cry during this. We'll see. But after I took that semester off, I transferred to MSU. That's when I just fully switched to art. And then printmaking kind of spoke to me just because I enjoy process. Printmaking is very process oriented. There's a lot of different steps you take to get to the finished outcome. But yeah, that's kind of been like my weird, wild art journey. Before I even wanted to do pre-law, I also thought I'll do culinary arts in Chicago. A week before classes started, I was like, I don't want to move to Chicago. That's just too much for someone coming from a town of 80. But yeah, so then once I graduated, MSU back in 2019, I moved over to Portland, Oregon. I did my master's there. Then the pandemic hit, so I did my master's within a pandemic. It was kind of weird, kind of exciting. There's a lot going on in Portland as well between kind of the start of 2020 going up until like when I moved back to Minneapolis, which was last year.
Sure. What brought you back? And I mean, I believe that I met you probably in 2018 back at the 410. Like, so this isn't like a new relationship with the 410. Like were you a volunteer there, or
Yeah,
what was
I was volunteering at the 410, I believe, towards the end of my time at MSU. So I think that was around 2018 going into 2019. I was doing Saturday hours, so I just hang out in the gallery on Saturdays, greet people, talk to them. The 410 space is it's a nice community space that I enjoy a lot. Lots of shows come in. Sometimes there's musical guests as well. Open mic nights and things like that.
I guess we talk about Mankato a lot on the podcast, and like you're an artist who is back in the region showing your work here in Mankato, and you just like talked about some pretty major like art scenes, that you visited. What are some like takeaways you've seen from like those communities that helpful for Mankato, or like things that are happening here that are different from there that might be good, or just drag people? I don't care.
Yeah. So just to throw some shade on Portland. So the Portland art scene. So one of the major reasons I moved back to Minnesota, one was because Minnesota is one of the like top states in terms of like grants being available to artists, resources for artists. But also, I feel like the Minneapolis/Mankato art scene is a lot more welcoming. There are a lot more opportunities for up and coming artists, like the 410 Project. Portland felt like it was just mostly a lot of wealthy white people that are already well-established artists. So if you are an up-and-coming artist, there are options for you, but it's a lot of like schmoozing to get into those spaces, and I just wasn't vibing with that scene. People told me Portland was extremely white, and I didn't believe them. But when I moved out there, I was like, "Oh, you are like really, you're correct." Like I grew up in the Midwest in a small town in Iowa, and I was like, "Oh, I can. If it's true, I can handle it." But the difference between I feel like Portland and the Midwest is in Portland, it feels more performative. People are a lot more fake, is the word, I guess. It's just
It's that money. It's
Yeah,
money.
it didn't sit well
It's
within
that
me.
West Coast vibe. You got to be fake and nice, whereas the East Coast is mean and true.
But there are some great people also in the Portland area, specifically my friends. So not to drag my friends specifically. Everyone else, we'll see. Yeah.
There's like 10 of you out there. Thumbs up.
Most of them are not from Portland either. They moved into Portland to do the grad experience.
Sure. And what you mentioned being part of a graduate program, but not what it was. Was it printmaking or?
It was, yeah. So I went to Pacific Northwest College of Art for print media specifically. I did a whole semester in person, and then the next semester they kicked us out for the pandemic. So I did a whole lot of just like that semester where they kicked us out. I did a lot of like crying. I was like, is this really what I want right now? Should I go back next semester? It's only a 2-year program. So at that point, I was like, I'm going to get the degree. I'm going to have a master's, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Does the form of printmaking work well with the art form we're talking about here, Wonkism?
It does, yeah. Surprisingly, I'm not showing any prints in the show.
Okay.
The show mostly consists of drawings. Sam does a lot of paintings.
Yeah. I went to school. I got my bachelor's in painting, and then I'm currently getting my master's in drawing right now. So,
Cool.
yeah.
There'll be some soft sculpture as well. So I do soft sculptures, power tools. They're not my favorite. They kind of scare scared of losing a finger, so I use a sewing machine mostly. So it'll be soft sculpture. What else will there be? Is that it?
Some sculpture. There'll be that community
There'll be
wall.
poetry by me and Sam. There'll be some letters on display, as well as artwork that we kind of sent back and forth to each other during like the start of the pandemic, following up until 2021 last year.
Yeah, I actually have the last letter you sent. That was when I moved in to my current apartment last year. Here, I'm going to be a little bit closer to the mic. I can hear myself echo in the background, but yeah. So I think the last letter you sent, I just moved into my the newer apartment that I'm at, and you just moved up to the cities for a while. Yeah, yeah. That's
Some of these letters I don't quite remember how personal they get, so we're just gonna display them and then we'll look through them, but we won't hide anything, I guess.
Yeah, not too much. Well, we'll probably hide the other side of the paper because I think we wrote on both sides. So,
Are there any Wonkism artists that really kind of inspire you in the space, or do you feel like you're pioneering it a little bit, or is it?
Sam's my
bit.
favorite Wonkism artist.
Yeah, likewise here.
That's
I
cool.
don't think it's a term used at all anywhere outside of just the both of us. It's kind of just been
Okay,
us
so
two
it's
thing.
new.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like a brand new thing that we came up with.
We'll see if
Awesome.
it takes off. If it doesn't,
Debuted here first,
Yeah.
folks.
Sometimes I'll go through Instagram and I'll see like some artist doing something. I'll say, "This is wonkist," or "This is anti-wonkist. This is not what to aim for." And it's just like it doesn't make sense, but it's just funny.
Cool.
I don't think we'd get sued, but I think Jeff Koons is somebody we wouldn't want as part of Wonk.
Maybe I for a while I was like maybe I could be like a Jeff Koons fan just to like get some people mad because he's kind of a hot topic in the art world. But
What did they do?
they did the sculptures of the balloon animals. He also did a porcelain sculpture of Michael Jackson with his pet chimpanzee. Yeah, a lot
And
of
you're
people.
concerned that it could be confused as wonk.
No, just I feel like I want to accept him in a little bit just because I think it'd be funny because a lot of people don't like him. But at the same
Oh, so
time,
you're
like I
"Nah,
don't.
he's one of us.
Yeah, he's one of us. He's a wonkist.
Yeah, you know.
Can I see
Yeah.
Jacob?
You can. Here, you give it a scroll. I guess I do like the floaty on the ladder. That was nice.
Tell. Cool. Do you know of have you ever heard of wonk used in musical terms?
Kinda, somewhat. I did some like history research on what the term means in case we're not like stepping on anyone's toes, but it wasn't that deep. It was like a quick Google search. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
the British don't count anyways.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
mostly people speaking about how the Brits use it.
what do they use it like?
They use it in a musical sense.
Musical.
So it's I think it's like a lot of off kilter, like electronic music or
Yeah, I've heard there's been specific artists that I know that kind of like they're like I do a wonky sound and it's like World of Wonk or whatever. The
yeah,
hell
but that
it
could
is.
go
And-
as deep as zest. You know, like this.
Yeah,
Zest.
yeah.
And wonk is kind of just like one of those like slang terms where it's like everybody knows what it means, but it doesn't have a definition. It's like, oh yeah, it's kind of weird.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I like throwing the ism on there because then it's like, I don't know.
It makes it sound official. Like any
Yeah.
ism there is, like there's communism, surrealism. It all sounds so serious.
I thought
And
maybe
then-
the wonk music that I was familiar with was copying the art that you were pitching.
No. We came up with this.
Yeah, this isn't like a
What
I don't know,
is
it might
going on?
be
We
real
got
now.
supplies and paper and
yeah. So we're gonna have y'all do some quick timed sketches. We're gonna ask you to draw some specific, well-known arts from memory. You can't look up anything.
well-known arts.
Yeah, like the first one will be the Mona Lisa.
Oh,
Who painted the Mona Lisa?
I don't know.
Da Vinci?
I don't know the reference either, to be honest.
It's a dumb Gen Z meme.
Yeah.
I got one.
So do you have markers?
I also
I gave
got
him
some of
two.
those.
Okay.
So
I just
we're doing
wanted to
the
grab
Mona
a
Lisa
little
now.
surface.
Yeah. I can do a timer.
Anyway, how long do I have?
Let's do it for a minute.
Yeah, we'll do a minute.
A minute and 5 seconds just to throw everybody off.
What's a good minute question y'all could ask us
A
too?
good minute question. explain the connection. I guess the Mona Lisa we just all know, like, but I don't now that you said it. Thanks a lot.
And hopefully,
Do I get to start?
Oh yeah, ready, go. The reason we're asking you to draw the Mona Lisa from memory, just because most likely it'll probably be pretty wonky, and that'll just make you officially part of Wonkism. You'll become a Wonkist. Yeah, I guess that's a quick minute answer.
Hearing that little pencil scratch.
It is.
Just some ASMR.
Is this the type of, is this like the type of exercise you would do in practice, or is this just like regular
we
artist stuff?
for a while we would Zoom each other and be like, all right, let's do some practicing sketches and whatnot. And sorry, I'm trying to focus and draw at the same time.
Yeah, I got no time for questions.
This is going to be the most interesting part of the podcast for sure.
Cool, that's a minute. This is really hard drawing with the microphone in front of you.
Yeah.
Sam, do you want to go first? I think
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. So I just used my pencil. This is what I kind of remember. I know she has a little veil that some people miss out on.
Yeah, I was getting the hair in there.
Ooh.
I love that.
Don't forget to sign it. Also,
Yeah,
you're part of the
no.
show now. These are going to be going up
great
in that
too.
corner of the gallery space. So you're now part of the Wonka show. You can put a price on it if you want to sell it. If someone wants to buy it, you can sell work at the 410 Project, which is really cool.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that whatsoever. No.
Shout out to the 410. This work will be available there for $85.
You heard it here, everyone. Y'all need a second piece of paper.
It's our new podcast fundraiser.
Sure.
You're gonna get a black. There.
For what?
You're gonna get black as a cooler color
For
because you have two warm colors. So
Okay.
cool
Sam,
down.
I'll let you pick the next one.
Let's see. You're putting a lot of pressure on me. We'll do.
Is it going to be a work of art?
How about your shoe without looking at it? Don't even look at it. Just think about what your shoe looks like.
No
I see you
cheating.
looking down.
Yeah, no
I
cheating.
like that.
My shoes are on display in front of me on the floor. I take them off.
Don't even
All
look
right,
at them.
we'll
Just,
do a 30-second then, since
All right.
they're very near.
Ah.
Let me get ready. That's minutes. Oops. Let's see. Ready, go.
all right, what's this 30-second question?
Oh boy! You know what? I feel like this is an undue burden to have to answer to account for questions while I attempt art.
We can make some juicy noises in the microphone to fill that space.
We
We're gonna
probably won't
lose
even edit
every
them
viewer.
out. Probably won't even edit them out.
Do you hate the sound of people breathing? All right. Can
That's
can
30
we
seconds.
Do Dana next? We can just draw Dana.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's draw Dana. So yeah, here's my shoe. Here's our shoes.
They don't know what our shoes look like.
Yeah, here.
I'm not going to reach for it.
I'm adding another 6 seconds.
I got this for $20 at Target.
Look at this. I swear I didn't look.
Sam, do you want to
Ooh.
It's indistinguishable.
Yeah, wow.
Look at that Choco.
Hit the table.
The number one sandal of the TFPS.
It is. You can air out your dogs with those Chacos.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
All right, I think we're doing Dana now.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
make it a 2-minute drawing.
2 minutes. That may be a little
Yeah, I
too
know.
long, Sam.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I like it when you
Can I
have
get
like
a
too much time
slice
because
of
then you're
paper?
like, well, crap, what am I gonna do?
Well, no, this is good. And everyone can go around and say one nice thing about Dana.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity. We'll do a minute.
Can I have a different
We'll do a
color?
minute?
Just
Yeah.
anything.
All right.
Color?
Just give me anything. Yeah.
Peach.
I think her hair is pretty cool.
Okay, we're gonna start the minute now. Quick shout out to Dana.
Hey.
Thank you for running the 410 project. You're an amazing person. Your art practice is amazing. I love the community building that you do as well. That's my shout out to Dana.
Yes. Shout out 410 Project. Putting
Hi,
on
Dana,
all the cool
thanks.
local artists. often with the coolest hairstyle in this building. Gotta feature
I gotta think of her hair off the top of my head. I know it's red, and then she has a streak of bleach, like a little bleach blonde.
There's bangs.
And
Yeah, and
she's
bangs.
Probably like playing with it. That's the number one Dana move. Bad friend I'm being right now.
That is a minute.
Ah, shoot.
I thought we were doing 5 minutes. Just kidding.
Here's my Dana.
I'm done. Nice.
Here, I did it on the back of the shoe drawing. I drew her on a bike.
I forgot the glasses.
Ooh,
Yeah.
And my Dana.
don't forget to sign your drawings.
I like
Hold
that
on.
one.
Jacob, go again. I missed yours on
Oh,
that
okay.
one.
Hi,
There
Dana.
you
Yeah.
go.
Fun fact: Dana and I have the same birthday. Can you believe that? We're birthday.
What day?
March 2nd.
Happy
Hey.
late birthday.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Yeah, March 7th.
That's yours?
Yeah.
I always forget.
Yeah, you do always forget. You're a Scorpio. I don't know the exact day. I know it's in November, but I know you're a Scorpio.
November 21st. Send me some gifts, everybody.
So I want to do one more,
Yeah.
and this time
All right.
I want to hear from y'all how you, if you're like, this is gonna be the epitome of wonkism, this drawing. Like, what do you focus on? Do you focus on
Ooh.
big sweepy lines, like large color blocks, like sort of shapes that resemble the thing but messy a little bit, or what are you
Yeah.
thinking about?
I've been trying to think of how would wonkism look like in black and white, because I've been so exposed to color and just using color in most of my works, and just I'm thinking like, oh, how would it just look just black and white? How do I make an interesting work just with those two? So
Is this
I
time?
think, how would wonkism look?
Well, I don't have do we have a thing yet? Jacob's already hitting it.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm cheating.
What are you drawing?
So I was drawing Sam. No one gave me a target, so I just started looking.
Perfect. Keep on doing that.
All right.
How about we'll draw the person that we see from across from
okay.
us?
Okay.
Yeah. 3 minutes?
Cool.
Let's do 3 minutes and 3 seconds just to screw everybody up.
Sweet. Okay.
All
Go.
right.
Oh, this marker's dead. That's unfortunate.
Quick. Any 3-minute questions?
I got nothing.
Nope.
Art, suddenly I'm taken. I do art now, I guess.
You
You're a wonkist now.
Certified wonky.
How do y'all perceive the art scene since you're not as involved?
That's a good question.
Technically, they're involved. They have
We're
a
fairly
podcast.
involved. We're adjacent at least. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we are. This is an art adjacent podcast. I don't know. I have thanks to I can sing more of Dana's praises.
Sing
I
it
have-
for us.
I have used the term artist to describe myself now quite a
I
bit.
do have chest hair.
Oh, yeah.
Because I everything I do is some kind of artistic activity. I make videos. I take photographs.
It's the act of creation.
Yeah, it is. It's the act of creation, and that's kind of something that I'm personally pretty obsessed with. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do other stuff. So I like that, and I really believe that that's just attached to happiness, for me, and that's why I do it. And a lot of it, people seem kind of put it out there that you're supposed to create something or do something or show something or make something or
Be productive.
yeah, and
It's that Protestant work ethic.
yeah, I'm not into that so much. I just want to make stuff for people to see
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I enjoy doing.
do what you love and keep on doing it. That's something that old folks at the nursing home always said. Like, I would always be so worried that I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm an art major, like, and I would just be so worried, like they'd be like, oh, you're wasting your life with that. You should make money or something. And they'd always respond with, good, keep on doing that. And it kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I like listening to like old people's simple regrets.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes they're like, "Oh, I wish I'd gone to the beach more." And it's like, cool.
Well,
So sad.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
That was it?
Yeah, that's 3 minutes.
Oh, wow. Time flies.
Hey,
Here's my drawing with your choco.
all right. We got the feet up in there.
Yeah.
All right,
It looks like you're smiling, but that's just your lip right there.
cool. I can work with that.
This
got
is
Jacob
my
over there.
shapes. I feel like everyone's a
That's
better
cool.
drawer than me,
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
good and fine.
I like those.
I like that a lot, Willis. What are you gonna put on that?
You know, I realized nobody got you.
45.
So maybe we should just do one last one. Let's do it like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Everyone draws Jacob.
Yeah, everybody draws Jacob.
Cool.
Quick as they can.
Draw yourself from memory.
Yeah.
Portrait.
All right.
Ready, go. Oh, that's 30 minutes.
Awesome. It's just
The
starting-
longest episode yet. It's like half silence. We're just drawing.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you'll
There we
just
go.
do
30
a breath.
seconds. Just started. I keep grabbing this dead marker. If I wait 30 seconds.
More pressure.
That's 30 seconds.
Mine looks like a little doofus. I'm sorry.
Wait,
Yeah.
we're already done?
Yeah, that was 30
Yeah.
seconds.
All right.
Here's mine. Apologies. I forgot we were doing 30 seconds.
That's fine. I like those. Those are nice.
You're a little angel.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's me.
There we
I
go.
want to see you. Oh, that's
I like that.
great.
It's
I
all
love
eyebrows.
that.
When I imagine myself, I am mostly eyebrows. It's my most powerful feature. I'll take it all day. Love those. Thank you. Well, that was fun. We did a bunch of art. This is so
Yeah.
cool.
I like that. We should we'll have to take a photo of the like 4 from each of us so we can kind of, because I'm sure the wonkism will be apparent, especially when you see the side by side of
And
them all.
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna in the podcast. I'm gonna like put a little thing up on the screen that says "Get out your art supplies and follow along with us."
Ooh.
Then people can just do the exercise,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then they're gonna be like, "That wasn't 30 seconds."
Yeah.
That's
That was 27.
I know that there's someone out there with a stopwatch and watching our podcast.
Cool.
We should like slow. You should like slow it down and like post processing, so it's like a second takes like a minute, and then just like speed it up again like really fast.
And then just leave that part in too. So like as soon as they get done with it, they're validated knowing that they had like what they just suspected had happened. We'll see how ambitious we get.
Cool. Yeah, that was fun. What else? What else have you guys got going on? What are you planning for the future? Are you what are you working on these days?
Well, right now I'm trying to finish up my degree, and then after that, I'm probably just gonna chill. I don't know what's gonna happen with the world. It's always changing. Every once in a while, I'll read a headline that I'll see, and I'll just be terrified, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So, I think for a while I'm gonna be an artist, just kind of live life, just make some money, just do my thing.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my life plan for the next decade or so, or until something happens. Yeah.
I'd say currently I'm trying to step foot into the Minneapolis art scene. So I'm trying to figure out like how do I become a part of those communities. So right now I'm just kind of working on my own work. We have that show coming up together.
Mhm.
During the fall I'll be traveling for work, so I'll be going around kind of giving some feedback and reviews on students' portfolios. It's part of my job description. So I kind of like help students in terms of getting their portfolios ready for art school.
Cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Well, that sounds cool. Sounds like you got some stuff cut out for you. What does it look like trying to like find community for your artwork, find spaces to show, or find people who are excited about it?
It's a lot of going out and being a part of like openings and galleries in terms of Minneapolis.
Talking to people.
Yeah, talking to people. It's a lot of that,
Mhm.
which I don't mind, but it's also like, I wouldn't say it's not my favorite thing to do, but I feel like it's just a lot of effort. Sometimes I just want to sit on my couch and just watch a lot of movies all day, do just a bunch of silly drawings and then send them to Sam.
Yeah.
But you can't, I feel like you don't really get anywhere by just sending work to just Sam only.
Yeah.
Yeah, no offense. I don't really go anywhere that much.
Yeah.
Usually, if I go anywhere, it's just to my couch. And then I just play Stardew Valley for 3 hours. And then I'm like, oh, God, why did I do that? I have to do dishes. Ah.
Yeah, I don't think he's shown your artwork around very much.
No, this is actually my first show with kind of like as like a group. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, do we want to do plugs? Like,
Yeah. Where can people find the show? When's it happening again? Give them the date. Let them know where to go, what to do.
It's going to be August 26th at 7 to 9 p.m. And you can find me at Shamuel003 on Instagram. I don't know how to spell it off the top of my head.
I'm gonna look it up.
I don't have a website, so that's usually the main place to go. I need to post more. I'm going to post more.
Nice.
And Ed?
You can find me also on Instagram. It's edvrosas, EDVROSAS. My website is just my full name.art. So edsonandrosas.art, EDSON. How do I spell my last name? ROSAS.art. Shout out to the 410. Also going to plug them. Amazing community space here in Mankato. Great area if you want to show your work. Who else? What else can we plug?
I don't know off the top of my head. 410's a great place.
You too for inviting us on here.
Yeah, these two. Yeah, let's
Sure,
plug them
Pauls.
too.
And
Yeah.
Zach, who couldn't be here today, but we miss him dearly, and we would have all loved to draw his mustache.
Was that the guy that
We-
was
yeah.
moving furniture?
We saw him move furniture while we were driving here.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
he was doing that instead of this.
He's
So.
not here because he's moving furniture.
We saw him. We're like, that guy looks. I think that's the guy.
Yeah. And I remember I saw him at a drag show a few weeks ago, last month.
We were probably. Was that the one at Chankaska?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah,
all
I think I
there.
probably saw you there.
We just
probably
were
did.
slightly less noticeable.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Autumn's my girlfriend's brother noticed him and he's like, "Oh, you're in that band, the local band." And he's like, "Oh, somebody recognized me." And then I gave him a free CD.
Yeah,
Zach, remember?
we heard the other side of that
Yeah.
story too.
That's wild. Yeah, shout out to Onion Bun.
Yeah.
They might be. They maybe they could be Wonkist.
Yeah.
They could be a
Hmm.
Wonkist band.
Let's try to figure out more people we can plug.
Yeah, no, let's just have a long plug section.
Yeah, just make it 15 minutes. This is going to be most of the podcast. We're just going to plug everybody we can.
let's plug Steve Jobs for firing that girl.
Yeah.
That was a callback to pre-recording, I
and
think.
Teddy Fresh for not sponsoring the podcast.
I almost wore a
Bringing
Teddy
Sam-
Fresh t-shirt.
bringing
Yeah.
Sam's hat.
Shout out to the Foot Soldiers.
I don't know what that is, but shout
Yeah,
out.
it's a podcast. Yeah, the husband of the guy's. I can't speak English today. I'm so sorry.
This man's husband, the hat maker.
No, so the lady that owns this company, her husband has a podcast, and that's just what he calls his fans, Foot Soldiers.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah,
Well, Foot Soldiers, get down to the 410 Project.
yeah.
All of you. I know they probably don't watch this podcast. That's not how that works. But
All right, we're gonna wrap up smoothly here. Thanks
right.
for joining us. It was great to have you. Thanks for sharing the artwork, and cool to hear about your upcoming project.
yeah, we're stoked. We'll be.
Oh, I'm gonna be there. Probably you'll find me there, I think.
I hope so.
I'll be
You
hard
better.
if you're not there now.
We'll be there.
All right, we'll be there. And see ya.